Cheryl Schoenberg.
Good evening. My name is Cheryl Schoenberg. I live at 14824 Fairway Court, Leawood, in the Leabrook subdivision. My husband and I are property owners in the Leabrook subdivision, and our property abuts the land that is currently under contract for purchase as an addition to Ironwoods Park. This is our fourth summer in our home. From our back windows and deck, I can see the stage area of the amphitheater. During the first 3 summers, we were simply neighbors of the productions. This summer, we were not only neighbors, but our youngest daughter was also a member of the cast. The only summer of these 4 years that I would characterize the music as being recognizable as we stood outside in our yard was when the bagpipes played in Brigadoon. And even that was not audible when we were inside our home because we have our windows closed and our air conditioner on during the summer. But even if we could hear the music inside our home, I recognize that we purchased our land and built our home next to a park with an amphitheater, not just a stage. When we were looking at the land in 2007, we were given the information about the park by the developer at the time, and even if we had not been, it was our responsibility as buyers to investigate what would happen on the surrounding land in the future. The information we were given clearly showed an amphitheater. It shows what is listed as future access, which is a road leading through Leabrook into the park from Kenneth Road. We were informed that events were held at the park and that by ordinance any event had to end by 11 p.m. For any homeowner in Leabrook, Camden Woods, or Steeplechase to argue now that a permanent amphitheater should be stopped or that current park utilization of the temporary amphitheater should be changed is absolutely absurd. We all purchased our homes after the park plan existed, and it is my understanding that all the homes that abut the park were actually built after the temporary stage was in place. To argue differently would be like purchasing a home next to a school and being upset that kids on the playground were making noise. We recognize that the cost to us as homeowners for the beauty of living where we do, without a house directly behind us and very close to the park, is that there will be events in the park, and these events might attract crowds or create what some might call noise. I would bet that the people whose homes are along the extension of Row between 135th and 143rd, or those who live along the widened section of Knoll, would like the city to simply close the road and return it to its previous state. But the plans existed before their homes did. For the council to backpedal now on this issue would mean that every single plan that has ever been finalized in Leawood is up for change if someone moves in next door and doesn't like what they moved in next to. I would also like to note that the public comments that have stated that rehearsals this year ran past midnight and that the lights were on this late as well are a prevarication. On one occasion, a complaint was made before 11 p.m. and the officer who was dispatched said that she would have to make arrests if the park was not cleared by 11 o'clock. To be honest, as a parent standing there to pick up her child, it comes across to me, not from the officer, who was very nice, I have to add, but from the complainant as harassment. Until that night, I had been very quietly following the developments of the various proposed park changes. I had not been involved with, nor had I followed, any of the discussions regarding the lights or what some call noise. I have read the numerous internet postings on this issue, and I believe that the desire is not only to stop any changes to Ironwoods Park, but also to end the current community utilization of the park. This would be unacceptable to me as a resident of Leawood. Ironwoods Park is not an extension of the backyards of all of us who own property on the park. It is not our private playground maintained by the city of Leawood. It is not only green space where crickets chirp, but it is also a public park that should be utilized as the voters deemed before the surrounding homes were built. It is owned by all the residents of Leawood and should be utilized by the residents of Leawood within the current laws of our community. From my experience over the last 4 years, that is what is happening. Harassment of Leawood residents who are legally utilizing our community park must end, And our mayor must publicly take a stand, mayor and council must publicly take a stand. For future productions, Leawood Police should tell any person calling to complain before 11 p.m. that the park is being utilized legally and that those utilizing it should not be harassed. I have another paragraph, but I'll let it go.
No, you can finish,
okay.
please.
On the second topic, a permanent amphitheater versus what is now a stage, I've seen multiple proposals. They have been sent to me via email from various sources, and each is different than the one before, and each one has come with a dire warning that we must fight to save Ironwoods Park. I would like to know what the actual proposal of the placement is before I jump on the bandwagon. If the proposal is simply to finish what is started in the 1998 bond at the site recommended by the Amphitheatre Steering Committee, I am all for it. Otherwise, make a public rendering for a park master plan that includes the new land, and let's have a civil discussion about the future of Ironwoods Park. Finally, I want to thank the Leawood Stage Company because they made my daughter a member of the cast, but they made our entire family feel like a friend and really made the experience one that I don't think our family will forget. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schoenberg. And I'm sorry, but I have to ask that there be no applause.
Can I ask?
Sometimes we have. You want to debate
No, I want to ask a question, Mayor.
of the person that just
Yes.
spoke? You want her to come back?
Yes, please.
All right, Ms. Schoenberg, if you'll come back to the podium, please.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Schoenberg, how were you made aware of the city contemplation of purchasing the land east of present Ironwoods Park?
I think the first notice I got was a dire warning that there was going to be something happening. I don't remember whether or not we got an official notice. I back up to Beauty.
No, I don't mean to go on. I just wanted to be sure that, one, you did not get any notification from the city itself.
No, I don't remember
Thank you
getting
very
a
much.
notification.
If indeed a park plan is, an application is made, there would be notice then. There has been no application. You do know that. I mean, I know you all know that. I'm just stating that for the record. Once an application is made, if an application is made, that's when the public is noticed within 500 feet for the Interact meeting, which would be the first step.